What's the deal, man? PolitiKan the podcast. We back again here at Rigor Mortis Studios in downtown San Bernardino. We got all your studio needs, man. Podcast, photography, the whole setup, man. Hit us up. Check out our content at politikanbroadcastingnetworks.com. We also on every major platform. So introduce yourself, man. Let the people know who you are.
Alright, y'all. My name is Raven, also known as Raven Satori. I am a clothing designer and I make upcycled clothing that's all about minority health, mental health, and like normalizing the conversation about it. So, you'll see me at a lot of different shows in the area, doing all that. And also, we'll be talking about in a little bit. I'm gonna start doing working on a project right now for a creative space for all of our creatives in San Bernardino, and I'm pairing up with my friend here. So.
Yes, sir. We gonna cook it up, man. We got some things coming. So, as far as the clothing line, how did you get into that? Was it something
Oh
that
boy.
what inspired you to go into clothing?
So I got a sewing machine because I wanted to work on some other project that hasn't come to light yet. But so I got that sewing machine and then I was like, I better put it to work somehow else. And just started making upcycled clothing for myself, and people were feeling it. I started looking at my stuff and was like, yo, this could actually be something, and I really like doing it. And my whole mission, I guess my whole life has kind of been about mental health. I struggle with it myself. So my creativity is kind of nothing without a meaning. So I was kind of chatting with my friend and I was like, yo, you can kind of see like my bipolar personality in my designs. Like you can see me in every different kind of state of mind. And he was like, yo, that would be a dope clothing line. And I was like, all right. A little nervous about it. It gets people on the edge of their seat every once in a while, but honestly, I've been met with so much love, like so much love from people that it's more than I could ever even think of. Like, and I always ask people like they don't have to buy clothes from me, just make somebody that's struggling with mental health feel loved and supported and uplifted, and you're doing the work for me.
Definitely. So, as far as your clothing line, where do you see you taking this brand?
So the brand, what I really want to get into is doing more fashion shows. I actually intern with Paris Harris, who is known as the LA fashion guru. He does a lot of fashion shows out in LA. I'll be in Buena Park on Wednesday doing a little fashion show there. Um, so I want to bring that whole hype to the San Bernardino area and kind of center that like with my whole brand of like uplifting people. So I want to kind of tweeze out all of our SB designers. So if you make clothes and you're like in SB, the IE area, shout me out. Um, and I want to start having fashion shows for ourselves and like building a community here because there's no reason why we aren't another fashion hub. There's like such good dressers out here. I go to events and like I am inspired beyond when I go to events and see people just looking fly in their everyday wear. And I think that we need to bring more of our creatives to light here for sure.
Definitely. So when you talk about mental health, what is? Do you want to share your own personal struggles with mental
Yeah, I
health?
mean, I'm all open about it. So, I was officially diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder, PTSD, um, and I also have a traumatic brain injury from when I was attacked by a dog when I was a kid. So, I've done the attempted suicide when I was like 15. I struggled a lot. My biological mother had bipolar 1, but not really officially diagnosed. So I dealt with that like toxic relationship a lot, and it made me struggle a lot. I ended up in abusive relationships from not having a lot of self worth. You end up in poor situations like that, and that takes more away from you. And I guess that really got to me into the point where I ended up like serious in alcoholism. I was really functional, so a lot of people wouldn't notice it in me because like I go to work, I held down a really good job. You know, I was working crazy hours and people just saw me going at it. So not a lot of people would expect that I was struggling so hard. And I think that so many people are like that. High functioning people with mental health issues are like, it's such a hard struggle because you, to the world, you look so functional and you look like you got it together. So, like, it took me, I don't know, I've been in the mental hospital. My last trip was like 5, 6 years ago now. And after that, it was actually a crappy experience. And after that, though, I kind of took charge in my life and started making certain changes to just start feeling better. And it took a while. I was still struggling a lot. And then I finally decided to pack my bags and move to California because I'm originally from upstate New York. So the weather is something else there. It makes you feel a certain type of way. It definitely affected my mental health. So moving out here alone, just like the weather in general, made me feel a lot better. And just made myself the most important thing in my agenda.
Definitely. So for me, it was last August. I'm just such a pillar of strength that a lot of people lean on me, and I really don't have time to like dwell on things that occur or happen to me.
Yeah.
So it was like an instance where I was being too strong for too long. You know what I'm saying?
I feel those
and I
words.
ended up having a whole anxiety attack and thought I was having a heart attack, and they took me to the doctor. I'm in the ER, and they got me hooked up to an EKG, talking about your heart rate is perfectly fine. It's all in your mind, and it literally like makes you feel crazy, like I'm like, I don't care what you telling me, like I'm dying.
There's something physically wrong with
like
me.
I am
There's
dying
no way.
right now. I don't. You just tell me whatever you want, but get another doctor in here because I'm dying.
There's no way this can be my head.
Exactly.
Like, I'm dying, yo. And it feels like that for sure.
Like, it's crazy, like, how people look at you and they don't understand.
Yeah, and that's what my brand is about, really, is like putting that conversation in our mouths more often, making that conversation an everyday thing so that when it happens to you, you don't feel crazy. You feel like the third person you talked to last Saturday. You know, you feel like a normal human being because, like, we all went through it. Like, and especially in the way our world operates right now. Like, people wonder why there's so many, you know, mental health issues and stuff like that. Duh. Because, like, we're stuck here. We're never thinking about here and what is actually going on in this center of our life. We're always compared this. What's going on here and who's doing this and what is going on in their career and what are they doing, and we get fueled by that. And when you don't take care of this and like your self-worth and stuff, like you're gonna lose it. Your mind's gonna snap at some point. At some point the homeostasis is not met and it's gotta have a big release in order to meet again.
Like for me, at the same time, I was working 6 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day. The workload on which I was living off of was so ridiculous that I never even had time to think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my business off the ground. I just acquired the studio that we're in. Like, my lease started on the 1st. I had my panic attack on the 2nd.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just throwing signs at you,
know what
like,
I'm saying?
yo,
Like,
man, take care of yourself, bro.
yeah, like literally, like preparing me. Like, you think you're stressed now? The stress of running your own business and getting everything off the ground and building a team and keeping the overhead low so that you can stay in business. It's stress that you can't really
And especially
think
when
about
you're
it.
trying to supply for the community. When you're not just a business that's just trying to like take money for your product, you're just, building a product, you take money back from it. When you're trying to build something that's for the community and for the betterment of people, you're always concerned about that money piece. Like, you're always concerned about, I gotta keep my overhead low, I gotta keep this low, I can't pay that much on this, I gotta go to donation here, I gotta get sponsorship here. You're trying to pull every back channel in order to get to that goal where other businesses are just be like, yeah, buy that from Amazon. Like, they don't even think twice. When we gotta be, wait, no, like, how does this end up pouring down on my community?
So you see that they're building a big Amazon out here in San Bernardino at the airport?
Yeah, I see that.
So how do you feel about that?
So, I have so many feelings about it. So, like, all right, I think that one, I want to commend the people that were out doing the rally against that, because I really appreciate the things that they put forward that our community needs, like safer roads, like an indoor space for the youth, like soundproofing, windows and things like that for the buildings. These are things that will make our community a safer place no matter what happens outside. We don't always have control over large companies, and sometimes our say doesn't, do everything. But we should be asking for the things that are going to protect our people.
Now, one thing that people don't really know about is what they call opportunity zones. And because of the bankrupt city, county that we're in, and the lack of jobs and money, San Bernardino at large is an opportunity zone.
Yeah.
So these businesses get large tax breaks to come in to bring their companies here so that they can provide jobs and revenue.
Which we've seen that they don't really give us the best jobs.
I mean, but if this big Amazon comes, it's going to be 10,000 jobs.
Oh yeah, but they'll be part-time jobs in which you get no benefits. And that was another part of the people who put on the rally, in which they were asking for was real jobs that actually make us money, that are actually going to support our family. Because that's a whole unemployment push right now. Like, sure, we have really great unemployment numbers, but it's because most people are working part-time jobs with zero benefits.
I understand that, but at the same time, if it was in a commercial area where they were taking away houses or taking away potential buildings, but this is on the airport. They're building on land that's really not being used and it's part of the airport. So the land that they're taking off of, nobody really is losing out of losing that land.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that's my whole thing is I'm saying these positive things because I am still an entrepreneur. So I still believe in somewhat capitalism, don't I have to?
Exactly.
Kind of have to. So, when it comes to Amazon and Jeff Bezos, the man, there's those are two totally different things.
I study that man.
He's a very intelligent man. I'm sorry, but the sharky entrepreneurs that you see around in this place, you got to study them. Our president was one of them.
He
is one of them.
He's
one of those sharky people, and look at where he got himself. You have to study what they're doing in order to know how to react and respond and how to do your things. You can't shun them out of your realm of even learning about them. You gotta at least learn about them and know what they're doing.
Now, what people don't really understand is that a protest is just an organized complaint.
Yeah, sure.
An organized complaint is asking somebody to do something. So you're gonna organize, come up with a bill, get some signatures, and present some legislation.
I see you.
Don't protest.
I see you.
Because a protest is just basically you out there begging and trying to change somebody's mind. Like, I don't feel
I do agree with the protest in the step of that. Like, you do the protest first in order to get to that. So that way you have more supporters. You see people who are actually, because you do get more support, people just ask questions as they pass by a protest. I see a sign, I go, wait, I'm going to look up and see what that was about. And then I might follow that. So then if you then take it to the next step, but I definitely believe that next step has to happen. It has to happen. We have to start following through and telling these people that we won't allow these things to happen if it does not benefit us in some way, or if it cannot come to us and denigrate our area while benefiting you. You know, we have to at least have some guidelines as to we're not going to get trampled on here today.
Well, I don't know. I don't think that the city council really has a plan because we went bankrupt. They were coming up with the new budget, and when they came up with the new budget, they ended up cutting. I believe it was. I don't have my notes with me, but I think it was 20 county workers. They cut their salaries so that they can raise the salary of the police. And then the county workers sued and won the lawsuit, and now their wages have to be returned. But the cops still got this money allotted, so now they
somehow all the money came up to be.
Exactly. So now they have to cover this difference.
Yeah, why do you think Jeff Bezos is moving in?
You know what I'm saying? So when you think about politics, man, you really gotta think about what's actually going on, man.
For real.
They made a mistake, man. They need somebody with big money to come in and bail them out.
Exactly. And honestly, this is my whole thing is like I'm not never gonna say to take a business away from a man. You can't. That's theft. That's theft. The government can't take a business away from you, so you can't tell them straight up no. But you can work programs that uplift your small businesses. If you work programs that uplift your small businesses to the point where they can at least kind of compete with large corporations, now you've created yourself a booming economy with people directly in the community being affected by it positively. That's what you need to do. Stop, like, instead of like, oh, we're just going to give this, or then we're just going to take that. Like, actually follow through. Like, make a full thought, because it makes no sense that you're going to be like, oh, yeah, small businesses are great, but then you sign in Yum Yum Donuts without listening to a single small business owner. Then you allow that to happen.
You see, but at the same time, with the opportunity zones, it gives these tax breaks not to the small business owners, but to the franchisees,
to large corporations.
To the large corporations. So now the franchisors are going to get a large tax break where they're basically going to pay no taxes to come bring in that Yum Yum's Donuts. So it's trying to entice these big businesses to come down here in the inner city instead of trying to promote small business owners.
Of course, but what I'm saying is that if you do a little bit of both, take some of that money that those corporations are actually making you and turn around and actually support your small businesses.
Now,
give them a break on your taxes a little bit. I mean, we're not paying, just a lot of us sole proprietors are only paying state tax. We don't have to pay federal tax. So give us a break.
Exactly.
If you do both sides, it allows for a true equal capitalistic game. You have to just support your small businesses like you support your corporations. As simple as that.
Definitely. So as far as let's get into this creative space.
Alright. Cooking up that new.
What is your whole mindset or mentality behind this creative space?
Alright, so it's interesting. The more I think I stumbled onto the idea in my brain as I was like inspired by the creatives around me, and then as I work on it, I realized that it's been something I've wanted my whole entire life. So what I've been dreaming of for a long time since I was a little girl and the movie Honey came out is a community studio for people to be able to create and affordably, because I was one of those kids that couldn't go to the dance studio because my parents couldn't afford it. And the dance studio didn't have any open hours. And I thought that was crazy. I'm like, why? I'm just a little girl that wants to dance. So I always had this dream of having a space where it was affordable for people, and we had open time where just anybody could create. It's expressive, and it ties in with my mental health realm of I have never met a creative who hasn't struggled with some kind of mental health issue. That's why we're creative. We express through something else because we can't express through words so well.
Exactly.
So we express through other things. So it kind of ties into that where if I am able to supply you with a space, some basic materials, maybe materials you were saving up for and haven't been able to save up for yet, then I can teach you how to hit that next level. I can help you become that small business owner. I can help you support the economy more. I can, it ties into really like everything that we've been talking about, like on every level.
Now, what my whole idea was I wanted to build a conglomerate, which is just a network of businesses that work off of each other and basically share business, you know what I'm saying, within the network.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we have enough creators within this area that we shouldn't have to go outside of this area to get anything done.
Nope.
And if we build a network where everybody knows each other exists, then there would be no reason for us to go anywhere else.
Absolutely, and that's a piece of it. That's that upper piece of it of when we all get to be entrepreneurs. We've all patted each other's backs. We've all helped each other, so that makes each individual business better on its own and better together. We now find the collaborator we've been looking for. Just by working in a communal space, you end up finding another artist for your party. You end up finding, that perfect seamstress you needed to help you out with that. You find everything, We have, so I mentioned I moved here 2 years ago. I was really struggling emotionally finding people to be friends with. And because I live up in Phelan in the high desert, and I found my people here in San Bernardino. Like, I spend most of my time down here. If I'm not at home, I'm here. And I freaking love everyone. Like, every time I go to a creative event in San Bernardino, I meet 5 more people who I'm so inspired by. They create, they do so much, and this many people know about them. And I'm like, yo, we need to put you on blast. They instantly spark this fire in me that I want to be able to help them and lift them up to higher levels, and see our passions actually grow into businesses that benefit us and not be just something that we do on the side while we slave away some 9 to 5 doing something that we can't stand.
Definitely. Because the 9 to 5s, man, they take up all your time. And
all
they take up all your energy.
Yeah.
That's one thing that struggling with mental health is that I wasn't protecting my energy. And now I protect my energy at all costs.
Yes.
No matter what the scenario, no matter who you are, no matter what's going on, I must protect my energy at all costs.
Yes.
That's the only thing I just refuse to yield on.
You are number one, man, and especially when you become an entrepreneur. When you become an entrepreneur, you just became number one. You have to, because your business doesn't survive without a healthy you.
Definitely.
So you are number one. I took the dive that I was you know what? I'm done. I'm done working for other people who don't care as much as I do. Done. And I stopped working a regular job. And I'm broke most of the time. But I work my ass off. And last month, I had a really good month. I made a ton of money, and it all, it's just how you work it out, I'm willing to be healthy and broke a hell of a lot more than I am to be comfortable and depressed.
This for me is like therapy.
Yeah.
That's why I love sitting down and doing podcasting and because this is like my mental release. This levels me out. This just interacting with different creators and different people that might be going through the same thing I am lets me know that I'm not that man on the moon. I'm not going at it alone. It's other people out here that care just as much as me.
Yeah, and people who are going through it.
We have mental health issues because we care.
Yeah.
If we didn't care, we wouldn't have none of these problems.
Yeah, dude, we're the next evolution. This is like my serious belief. My serious belief is that people with mental health issues, quote unquote, we're the next evolution of people. People just don't want to accept us yet, because that's like how it is. Like whenever you look at like superhero movies and stuff like that, and like so many sci-fi movies have come true, so let's just think that way. So superhero movies and all that, they always are afraid. Like X-Men, you're afraid of the mutants, you're afraid of that next evolution because they're stronger, better than you in some way. They're the next evolution. So of course the world puts us down into corners and says that we're too emotional, we care too much, that we, do too much, or that, like cry too much, like whatever. Like I cry when I'm happy, motherfucker. I don't care.
So as far as the creative space, what all do you want to be entailed in the space?
So I want us to be able to have like communal tables where people can work on their art, whether it be like painting, sewing, all that. And then I want us to be able to have a space like you have and like kind of make our space as one. So that way we have podcasts, YouTubers, music. I want everybody in there, So I want us to have like community, connections so we can get everybody's prints done at a cheaper rate, have benefits like that. And I also want to start doing actual meetings with people who want to make their creations into a business. If you want to make your creation into a business, we're going to have like a one-on-one meeting at least once a month and make you a hard set business plan, marketing plan. These things are super important. Any business person, any successful business person has one, so they can go back to it when they've lost their mind.
Exactly. That's the only thing that keeps me on the plan is to go back and refer. Like, okay, every time I fall astray, let me get back to that
exactly.
business plan.
And no successful business owner doesn't have doesn't have a business plan. So like I want to culture that. I want to, grow that so that way we have that many more businesses that we can collaborate with, that many more businesses as a piece of our, conglomerate. And also just inspire the community to be more free and create. Like I want to have open second Sundays. It's just community second Sundays where you guys can come in. We'll have food trucks. Artists will be, selling their stuff, talking about their new, art ventures. If they've got like, a gallery showing, letting you know about that. And inviting the whole community to just come and experience the space, have some paint and sips and like, Marcus art. He's amazing.
Actually,
Marcus.
I had brought Marcus to the first soul session we did downstairs.
Yeah.
And he's been rocking ever since.
Yeah, so Marcus is my
amazing.
dude. I love Marcus. We met at Riverside Arts Walk randomly. We were supposed to be set up next to each other and some girl stole a spot. So then we requested the next month together. But yeah, he's my dude. So I'm like, I need you. He is, and he's all about the community, and he's all about just like lifting up the culture. He's a great person. So you want to get him in there, teaching workshops, just for the community, doing stuff for the kids. Like I have so many like visions for how much we can do with this space.
Once we create the space, man, then the possibilities are endless.
Exactly. I'm like, I have lists on lists on lists of things that we can future do, and like the first thing is just building this community and making a space for us that's going to foster our creativity. Because like any creative I talk to, most of us, really love creating next to another creative. It inspires us. It builds us to just do more.
It adds perspective, you know.
It does.
It never hurts to have extra eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To just that extra critique or just that one hint to do something
And
different.
if you're ever feeling unsure of yourself, you know, and to ask a like non-creative, you're always like, nah, no, I like your opinion, but somehow it's not there for me. But if you ask another creative, you're just like, all right, yeah, you see it the way I would see it. Yeah, that's a really good outlook. You know, if we just could breed, I see it as being like an incubator for just entrepreneurs and a boost of creativity in downtown and creating a community where we are self-sufficient as creators.
Definitely. So do you have like a time frame on when the public might be able to tap into this?
So I definitely want to have, like, before we actually open, I want to have like a pop-up and do like everybody come in and like create, and I'll supply like some canvases and paints and stuff like that. I am meeting with my landlord later today. We are looking at March. I'm thinking maybe pushing it maybe back to like April, just to give us enough time to like build. I want to build this community solid. I want to make sure that I'm able to take all the input, because like y'all have really good input. And you guys know what you want out of the studio, and everybody I talk to has just more to say about it. So I want to make sure I'm able to listen and give you guys exactly what you want. So we're shooting for March, April, that kind of area.
For sure. So before we get out of here, tell the people where they can find your clothes, find you on social media.
Catch me on Instagram, most popular, at bipolar by BYRS. My website, it's also bipolar by RS. Catch me on there. I'm always on the gram shooting stories and stuff. So shoot me a DM. I do custom for my local peeps, and I love doing customs for other creative people. So definitely hit me up for that.
For sure, man. Check us out on all major platforms, man. PolitiKan the podcast.
Awesome. Good.